Welcome to the Press Box, your total sports platform. I'm your host. My name is Cee Will. Today, we have a terrific show planned for you guys. We're going to dissect the SEC conference in college football, and we're going to rank each team from 1 through 7 in the East and 1 through 7 in the West. Stay tuned because you don't want to miss this episode. But before we dive in, I want to make sure that you guys know that you can like this video by hitting the thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe to the Press Box here on YouTube so you can catch every episode as we drop it. Without further ado, we will go ahead and dive in. So here we have the SEC conference. As we can see here, Georgia is number 1 in AP. They are 3-0. Florida is ranked number 25. They are 2-1. Kentucky is right now 3rd at 3-0. Missouri is 4th right now, 3-0. And the reason why they probably have Missouri, I guess, behind Kentucky is you can see here, they only scored 88 points. Kentucky scored 107 because they both 3-0. Then we have Vanderbilt at 2-2. Then we have Tennessee at 2-1. And we have South Carolina coming in at 1-2. Me personally, because I have my notes, I would rank the East as follows. I would rank Georgia at 3-0, even though they haven't looked like the Georgia teams that we've seen in past years. Missouri would be 2nd because of the win that they got last week against number 15 Kansas State. Florida also had a big win against Tennessee at home, so they're right there at 2-1. I got them behind Missouri because Missouri is 3-0. Kentucky is 3-0. The reason why I have them at number 4 is because they really haven't played much competition. I got Tennessee at 2-1 in number 5, and I got South Carolina at number 6, being 1-2, and I got Vanderbilt at number 7. Okay, so when we look at these teams, the best offense we have that's in the East is ironically the Vanderbilt Commodores. As you see, Vanderbilt has put up 139 points right there. And look at everybody else. So Vanderbilt is the top scorer. And Georgia here, only allowing 24 through 3 games, is your best defense. Now, Georgia does come in number 2 on offense, being that they scored 117. So that would make them the more balanced team because they are number 2 on the offensive side in scoring and number 1 on the defensive side. Then I have Missouri at number 2. Missouri is actually 6th in the division with only 88, so they don't score many points. They're only allowing 56. That's 5th, so not really impressive numbers. The Florida Gators, I got it 3rd, but look at Florida. They only scored 89 points. And defensively, Florida scored 47, and that's 3rd. So definitely more of a defensive team. Then you got Kentucky being 3-0. Kentucky is 3rd right here at 107 in scoring, and they're 2nd in defense. So I would say that they're pretty balanced. But again, they haven't played anybody yet. Tennessee comes in at 5th on my list. 95 points is 4th in the division. It's kind of like middle of the pack. And the 55 is also 4th. So they're kind of in the middle of the pack right now. Then 6th would be South Carolina on my list. South Carolina is 1-2 on record. They only scored 78 points, as you can see, on offense, and that's last in the division, and defensively they're giving up 76. That's sixth in the division. So bottom numbers for them. And Vanderbilt comes in last on my list, scoring 139, which is number one, but 117 is number seven. So they're like unbalanced. Offensive team so far, not being able to stop anybody. So we'll go to the West. Right now, they have LSU coming in at 2-1 because they have the higher AP ranking as number one, and Auburn is number two, being 3-0. Ole Miss is number three at 3-0, which they're tied for second. Actually, Ole Miss should be ahead of them because they have a higher rank and they're undefeated. Then we have Alabama coming in at 4, 2-1. Then Arkansas Razorbacks come in at 5, 2-1. Texas A&M comes in at 6, 2-1. And Mississippi State comes in at 7, 2-1. So how do we decipher all this? How do we know which team is better than the other team being 2-1? Since we have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams in this division out of the 7 at 2-1. Well, what I did was I looked at quality wins, and I was able to determine the quality of the wins by looking at teams' power ranking, not their AP ranking, because all teams aren't ranked 25. But you still need to determine, where their rank is. So I look at a guy named Jeff Sagarin. Jeff Sagarin is a guy that I have a lot of respect for. He's an American statistician / handicapper. He has a lot of Vegas ties. We'll end this screen here and we'll go to the screen that he's on. I thought we was. Thought I had it on here, but I guess I don't. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So as we can see right here, Jeff Sagarin is an American sports statistician known for his development of a method for ranking and rating sports teams. So that's why I say I look at him. I really don't look at the AP rankings. The AP rankings are just a media. It's like the media, deciding who's ranked. I mean, it means something, but it's often not the true picture of the ranking of a team. But his ratings has been a regular feature in the USA Today sports section since 85 to 2023. So that's what, 40 years? That's a long time. Right at 40. He have been used by the NCAA tournament selection committee. So the March Madness, where we see what seeds they go to, they get that information from this guy, Jeff Sagarin, this guy, since 84. So since the March Madness, since 84, they've used his ratings to determine the seeds and all that. He's also were a part of the college football championship series, the bowl championship series throughout the history until the playoff system started in 2015. So he's highly credible, so it's not like he's just any type of dude, out here. So I have a lot of respect for him. And I'm just trying to put you guys on that, to make sure that you guys can actually see, what I'm looking at. And I'm going to show you those rankings here in just a second so you can take a look. Okay, So the East, the Georgia Bulldogs are number 1 with a 93.03 ranking. I got them number 1. Tennessee is still number 2, according to him. Okay. South Carolina is number 3, according to him. So you see how the respect that he has for South Carolina versus what we just saw from their records. Florida is actually 4th, Kentucky's 5th, Missouri 6th, and Vanderbilt 7th. And in West, we see Alabama here, who's number 1, but he has them at 3. But I think Alabama is ranked number 10 now. So you see how the AP rankings doesn't really match all of them. LSU, he got 2nd. He got Ole Miss 3rd, A&M 4th, Auburn 5th, Arkansas 6th, and Mississippi State 7th. So I'm gonna start with Ole Miss because Ole Miss is my top team in the West right now. Ole Miss is 2-0, and they actually played against Tulane for their biggest win on the road. Tulane actually has a power ranking. Let's see if we can find Tulane. Of 47. So for this to be week 3 and they have a quality win over somebody like that, to me stands out because that's a top 50 win. LSU best win is against Mississippi State, and Mississippi State is 48. So, you know, they're not, Tulane is not in the SEC, but they're on the equivalent, according to Jeff Sagarin, you know, of a ranked team or a team that was ranked, which is Tulane was ranked, but he got them on the same level as Mississippi State. And then Texas A&M will be the 3rd team, and I got them. Their best win is New Mexico. So they really haven't showed us anything yet. Alabama, best win, Middle Tennessee, 111. That's their best win. Auburn, best win is 169. I'm sorry, they beat California. California is 44. So that is a top 50 win. In Arkansas, best win was against Kent State at 148. So Arkansas has not showed us anything. BYU was ranked 41. So we don't have any quality wins. So that's why I got us as the next to last team in the West. And Mississippi State did actually beat Arizona, whose power ranking is 63rd. So they technically probably should be ahead of Arkansas because they did beat somebody that's better than Arkansas. Then in the East, I got Georgia. Georgia's best win was against South Carolina at 29. Missouri beat a number 15 team. I got them as 2nd. Florida's 3rd. Florida beat a number 19 team in Tennessee. This is according to Jeff Sagarin again. Then I have Kentucky, whose best win is 108 Ball State. That's not good enough. Tennessee's best win is Virginia, and Virginia comes in at 110. Not good enough. South Carolina best win has been Furman. That's the FCS school. That's not good enough either. And Vanderbilt is the last team in the East, which their best win has come against Hawaii at 141. So my ranking, as I showed you, so I'm going to stop the share, is predetermined by raw stats and actually raw ratings that were created by one of the top used statisticians in the whole game. As I read to you guys, he's been in the game since '84. So he's had great influence over the things that we witness, over these amount of years. So My rankings are based upon what have you done more so. So they most likely will change as teams start to play more competition. But I'll repeat them again. Ole Miss, LSU, Texas A&M, Alabama, Auburn, Mississippi State, and Arkansas. Yes, I'm an Arkansas fan, and I'm not just doing this because I'm trying to make people mad. I'm just looking at our schedule, and based on the team that we beat, that doesn't give us much weight in comparison to who other teams have beat. Then Georgia, Missouri, then Florida, then Kentucky, then Tennessee, then South Carolina, and then Vanderbilt. Okay, those are my rankings, and I wanted to kind of show you where I got them from. Um, and along with the eye test to see how these teams have performed. So if you have any questions, any comments, or anything that you want to add, even if you don't agree, I mean, that's fine. This is early. Nothing is written in stone. So feel free to share your comments. Go ahead and drop us a line and let us hear from you. And like I said, don't forget to subscribe because we're going to be putting out great content. And we want to make sure that each and every one of you has the opportunity to see it as we drop it. So that's all I have today. This concludes our show in regards to power rankings in the SEC. My name is Cee Will. Until the next time, take care.